Most of us probably throw them away, those magazine sweepstakes contest forms. But a few Americans have won tens of millions of dollars for the price of a postage stamp. In the first of a special three-part consumer close-up report, tonight, Randy Ripplinger has the winners and losers of the sweepstakes. Sad to say, Ed McMahon has never marched up to the Gianola house with the $1 million check.
No, matter of fact, we tried to talk to him on this series, but he wasn't really willing to do so. Most of the people probably realize their chances of winning one of these are real slim. But they enter anyway. No loss really when all you spend is 22 cents. But what if the odds were much worse than you thought? And do the people who buy magazines with the sweepstakes have a better chance of winning? Good questions.
Yes, as a matter of fact, my husband reminded me right before I gave it to him to mail. I said, I have a feeling I'm going to win.
She honestly did.
I honestly did.
She said, I have a good feeling about this sweepstakes. I said, okay, I'll mail it.
The Armelinos won $10 million from Publishers Clearing House. They did it by licking a 22-cent postage stamp. So did James and Sandy McPherson. They won an even million. And Elsie Scott got a call one day to say she had won $101,000.
I was more or less stunned at first.
Publishers Clearing House, American Family Publishers, several others, all mail hundreds of millions of sweepstakes entries yearly. They aren't publishers, really. They are salesmen. That's what the sweepstakes entry is supposed to do, sell. The first step is to get you to open the envelope. Look at this one. It says in the bold letters, Mr. Randy Ripplinger shall be paid $10 million. And then these words, Mr. Randy Ripplinger is the guaranteed winner of $10 million. It isn't until I open it up and take the slip out I read the rest. Only if the enclosed entry is the grand prize winner. There is no federal or state agency that regulates sweepstakes directly, but the Federal Trade Commission has imposed rules on other contests.
The FTC's concern in companies dealing with the public is with deception and misrepresentation.
You ever get American Family Publishers or Publishers Clearing House at your home?
I have.
The sweepstakes?
Yes.
Says you've won $10 million. You ever see that on the front of the envelope?
Yes.
Is that deceptive?
I think it could be.
One of the things the magazine publishers' rules don't tell you is your odds of winning. Channel 2 News obtained the official rules for 2 sweepstakes from the New York Department of State. Publishers Clearing House registered the odds of winning its prize as 1 in 160 million. American Family Publishers, the one with Ed McMahon, 1 in 200 million.
Any rational calculation would indicate that they're not likely to get very much out of it.
Barry Anderson is a professor of psychology at Portland State University. He studies how and why people make decisions.
In this case, Barry Anderson will be paid $10 million. Now, I know that's wrong, but the idea is planted in my head. And the fact that the idea is planted in my head has an influence on my judgment. You develop a kind of hope so that when you're not getting it, you're telling yourself, next time I'm going to get it, next time I'm going to get it.
And that is what the sweepstakes people want.
It's great when people are optimistic because then it's bound to happen. If they really believe that it's going to happen, then eventually they'll win.
Anderson says the markers on the envelope indicating whether or not you ordered tend to make people think if they buy a magazine, the sweepstakes people will be more favorable to their entry. In rules applied to other types of contests, the FTC was concerned about that too, what the customer thought.
Whether it cost them money, whether they acted in some way, bought services or products, or subscribed to the magazine, or in some way spent money thinking that that was needed for them to enter or win the contest.
When we contacted Publishers Clearing House and American Family Publishers to show us audits of their sweepstakes, they refused. The audits are seen only by the company itself. Not even the federal government gets to see them. But the Federal Trade Commission says it is not going to make a federal case of it. They say it's a case of buyer beware.
I would read the contents very carefully and decide if you want the magazine for the merits of the magazine, that really should be a separate consideration for whether you want to enter the contest or not.
Your chances of winning something are really better on a TV game show, and tomorrow we'll take you to Los Angeles for a look at those shows from the contestants' point of view. I might add, we're not putting Money Finder on this show today, even though it's Monday. We'll have a special edition of Money Finder at 6:30 and 11 tonight.
Okay, let's get back. Are your chances, they're slim anyway, but are your chances better if you buy a magazine? You know, sometimes you can just send back the no sticker.
Again, that goes back to the audit. We don't know. The company says yes. The government doesn't see the audit. Nobody sees the audit but the company.
Only the company sees that audit.
We assume that they are honest, but there's no way to tell for sure.
Game shows tomorrow? Which game shows?
We're going to go see The Price is Right tomorrow, and then down to see Vanna White and crew at the Wheel of Fortune.
that'll be fun.
You talked to Vanna White, Randy?
She sends you your best.
Okay,
I'm sure.
thank you.